Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today we have a very, very special treat for you. We have the Colorado photographer of Barack Obama, Patricia Duncan. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I tell you, this is such a pleasure to be in the friendliest state I know, Georgia.
In Georgia. Well, you have traveled from cold Colorado to Georgia, and we happen to be having cold. Normally, it's like 70-something and very pleasant and sunny. But you started on a journey with the historical Barack Obama in Colorado. How did that come into being?
Well, I became a photographer by fluke.
Really?
By fluke. And by that is I had an event planning company. I still have it, which is called Ijabo, A Wish Fulfilled. And
Swahili for a wish fulfilled.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I needed to take pictures of my centerpieces and things. So I got a little digital camera. Well, I did a jazz series called the Ijabo Jazz Series, and I hired a photographer to take the pictures every week. So in the meantime, I asked him, I said, well, do you mind teaching me how to do photography? I need to. And he said, oh, I would love to, because I didn't go to school for it. And so that's what we did. We went on this little journey of me taking pictures, and I would send it to him. And he would say, oh, you know, you need to throw these pictures away because they're blurry, there's too much ceiling and stuff. And I said, oh, no. Then I don't need to be a photographer. It just wasn't meant to be. He said, I'm not going to allow you to give up on you.
Really?
And so that was history for me. And I started sending my work into the black newspapers. We have 3 black newspapers in Denver. And they sent me on an assignment. And the assignment was Barack Obama was in Colorado campaigning for a gentleman who's running for Congress.
Okay.
And
so, this is before he was the famous Barack Obama.
This is before he was the famous Barack Obama. This was in 2006.
Okay.
He hadn't even announced he was running for president.
Okay.
So I asked my editor, I said, who is Barack Obama? She's like, are you really serious? You don't know who Barack Obama is? I said, no. But I went anyway, did my job, and I said, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to this man.
Okay.
And that's what I did. And from that day forward, I was a big Barack Obama fan.
And you followed him.
And I followed him in Colorado.
Right. And you captured a lot of the things that he was doing, because, as you said, he was there supporting someone else. And this is before he made his launch.
Exactly.
And so you were on the forefront.
On the forefront.
Before he became this wonderful, awesome, legendary president.
Exactly. Even before he announced, because you see, he didn't announce till February 10th, 2007. So I already had pictures of what was soon to be the 45th president of the United States.
Wow. And so what was the name of the paper? Because we have African-American newspaper here. And what was the name of the paper?
So the name of the paper is called the Denver Urban Spectrum, the Denver Weekly News, and the African American Voice. For that in particular time, it was the Denver Urban Spectrum. Okay.
And so you went out on assignment.
I went out on assignment.
And little did you know it was going to lead to you having a book in the Library of Congress.
Literally did I know, because that wasn't what was meant to happen.
Exactly.
It was what happened.
Exactly.
It was about finishing a project for once in my life, because raising children is not a project.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's forever.
It's forever.
Yeah.
And this is about finishing something that I started, that I never do. And I finished this. Through all the trials and tribulations, my mother died, and all of that.
And you didn't get discouraged?
I got discouraged.
But
I got
you
discouraged.
stayed in. You stayed in
because I kept quitting and starting. It took me 2 years to do this book.
Really?
2 years. This book was supposed to come out in January 2008. The book came out in 2011.
Okay.
You see. So that was because I kept stopping and quitting, stopping and quitting. It just wasn't meant to be. I said, oh, you know, I'm not going to do this. Even though I had other people saying, okay, Pat, I'm going to do my stories. I'm going to give you pictures that you need. You know, I just said no. And
it wasn't in your heart at that time.
It was in my heart, but it wasn't in my heart.
Right.
And then on August 15th, my mother was in hospice. And on August 15th, 2010, I went and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I finished my part of the book.
Really?
I finished my part of the book, all the pictures and stuff done.
So she knew that you had achieved that goal.
I had achieved that goal. And she said, oh, Tricia, I'm so proud of you. And she went home to glory on the 23rd.
How about that?
So, and we went to print at the end of December. And I got my books on March 30th, my best friend's birthday, 2011. And the rest is a defining moment.
Absolutely. It is a defining moment.
The rest is a defining moment.
So your real career, you had another career other than being a wife and a mother, and it was something that took you all over the world. Where did you really start out?
So I started out as a flight attendant. It was a dream job. I always wanted to be a flight attendant. And so in 1976, I got on with an airline called Braniff International Airways. And so for your viewers that have been around a little while, they know about Braniff.
Yes.
We were the best dressed flight attendants. We wore designer clothes, and we had the best food. But we never ran on time. So the rest is history. We never ran on time. We were always late.
Oh my!
And that was 6 wonderful years, and I went everywhere. Not only in the United States, but I did other countries. I did a tour of China.
Really?
So Hong Kong, Seoul, Singapore, Guam, and Hawaii.
Wow.
So I would be gone for 12 days. I was off for 18 days. And shopping, oh my goodness, that's probably why I'm such a shopper now, because I loved all the shopping. But I went everywhere. But you know, Gloria, I grew as a person, because I didn't go to college. And so I was smart. But I got my life experience from being a flight attendant, from going to other cities. Exposure. Exposure. Because you know what? We're all not the same everywhere.
Oh, absolutely not.
We know we're
all
not the same.
What we're going to do right now, Pat, we're going to take a break, go to our sponsors, and we'll come right back and continue that conversation. All right. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Chalk by Quincy, introduces Excellence Redefined, timepieces of the finest technology, luxury, and class with tons of style at chalklifestyle.com. Renal Associates, LLC, a team of physicians dedicated to excellent kidney care with 5 convenient locations to serve you. Stark Avenue, Columbus, Bradley Park, Columbus, Lafayette Parkway, LaGrange, East Burkhalter Avenue, Buena Vista, and Springs Street in Warm Springs.
Hi, I'm Bo Pelini. Please join the fight to put an end to homelessness among our military vets.
You can find them on a street corner, in a homeless shelter. Veterans who served America in her time of need. Now, they need your help. The Letter Winners Challenge is dedicated to ending homelessness among our veterans.
Even one homeless vet is one too many for me.
To learn how you can help, log on to thehomelessvetsproject.org.
History is important because it shows where you're coming from and where you're going. Type 2 diabetes is something that runs in my family, which means I'm at risk. In fact, 1 in 3 American adults are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And knowing this, if I do nothing, that family history becomes my family's future. And my family is too important to me for that. Take the risk factor assessment today at AskScreenNo.com.
The military has been in every generation of my family, and so has VA. It wasn't easy for my dad after Vietnam, but VA helped him and my mom get the home they'd always wanted. My grandpa's been coming to VA since World War II. They even helped him lay to rest one of his battle buddies from Normandy. And me, I followed in their footsteps and served with pride. And now that I'm out of the military, the GI Bill's helping me with school. Every generation of my family has served, and VA has served us all.
Hi, I'm Pastor Quinn, Senior Pastor of New Destiny Church.
And I'm Lady Denitra Hartnett, and we would like to invite you out to worship with us at New Destiny Church, where we do it for the vine.
Welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with Patricia Duncan, the Colorado photographer for Barack Obama. I tell you, before we went to the break, we were talking about those life's travels, the things you were able to see that grew you culturally. And as I was saying when we went to the break, sometimes people can have all the credentials in the world, all the talent, but if they haven't had the exposure, sometimes they cut themselves off. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a short-sighted vision instead of looking at the long view. Mm-hmm. So all of your world travels and all of that helped you to be able to do what you've done in Colorado and to look beyond where you thought you started as a flight attendant to end up having a book in the world and all over the world. Mm-hmm. People are looking at your photography all over the world. Mm-hmm. So your sister, you speak so well of her. I did my homework of how she really pushed you and encouraged you to just follow your dream and not sell yourself short. Yeah. Share with us something about your sister.
Well, you know, my sister was 6 years older than I was, and so, but we were so different. My sister's very quiet and very private, and I was outgoing, love people, love having friends. So when my sister came to the family and said, I am running for Secretary of State of Colorado, we're like,
really?
Vicky? Really? You're running for Secretary of State?
And when was that?
And so that was in 1993.
Really? So she was blazing the trail.
She was blazing the trail. Well, she was running as a Republican.
Really?
Okay. And so my mother, love her soul, said, you're not no Republican, you a Democrat. And she said, no, Mom, I'm a Republican. And my dad said, we will do whatever we need to do to support you. So she went on, was the underdog, and went on and won.
Really?
So she was the first Black Secretary of State of Colorado.
Wow.
That was huge.
Yes, absolutely.
That was huge. Okay?
Yes.
And her feeling was, she worked for the Secretary of State for 22 years. And her thing was, I'm tired of doing your job and not getting the credit. So this is why I'm going to run.
Or the perks.
Exactly.
And that happens often.
So that's what made her run. And so she did a great job, and then they turned. The Republican Party turned on her. So she ran again. And she said, what am I going to do if I lose? And I said, remember what you always told me. You told me to keep God first in my life, work hard and believe in me. And I'm telling you, the same thing you told me, it still works.
Right.
But you also got to believe in John Q. Public.
Right.
And John Q. Public is the one that puts you in office.
And they have the final say.
And they have the final say. So she won.
Really?
She won.
Even though the establishment was not for her.
Exactly.
But the people.
But the people were
with the power of the vote.
With the power of the vote. And even the media had turned against her. So, you know, people have a tendency to believe the media.
Oh, I know.
And so she just knew she was going to lose, and she won.
Wow.
And so in 1999 was a wonderful year. She won her re-election for the second time. My parents celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary.
A lot to celebrate.
A lot to celebrate. And my nephew graduated from the Air Force Academy. He was our first college graduate.
Really?
And so it was amazing. And then on July 14th, 1999, she passed away suddenly at the age of 49.
Oh, but she had accomplished her goal.
She had accomplished her goal, and she had accomplished the United States goal, because we had had Columbine, and she had befriended the only Black family that son was killed. And so to make a long story short, they wanted her to do the welcome speech, and everybody told her to go away. So she said, let me go to the Shoals family, see what they tell me. And the father told her, he said, you did not, the NRA did not kill my son, and you are the elected official. You are to do that speech. So she did a speech called New Age Hate Crime, which is on the web. You can see it. On the day she died, a Republican congressman read that speech on the Congress floor. That speech is now inducted in the Congressional Report.
Really?
Of July 14th, 1999.
So those words still live on.
They still live on.
Right.
They still lived on. So that's what I carried with me. When I finally got it, that's what I carried. Keep God first in my life, work hard, which was easy to do, but the believe in me took some work.
Right,
but
that dream, yeah.
I believe in me now.
Oh, yes. Well, the proof is in the pudding.
Proof is in the pudding.
Absolutely.
Proof is in the pudding.
So, as you followed Barack Obama all over Colorado, and I know that you have an eye because I've looked at the book and some of the shots that you have, and we're going to show the one with the mountain that will be dropped in so the audience will be able to see that. How did you just grow into knowing what to capture? You know, like you said, when you first started off, all the pictures were blurry. What did you know? You just kind of grew into capturing the right moment?
You know, that was the one thing my mentor told me. He said, you're going to need to take a lot of pictures to get those few good pictures.
Okay.
So I said, okay.
So that means you might take 200 and you might can only use 10.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
And so I averaged probably 500 pictures per event.
Really?
And I may have only really been able to really use maybe 50 of them.
Really?
So I was looking for that moment that he had that look on his face of showing you I mean business, or that look that says I'm happy, this is what I really want to do. And so I was trying to capture that for you, the reader, would see that.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to take you on this journey of this senator, and I want you to see what I see.
Right. Through your eyes.
Through my eyes. And it was difficult. I mean, it wasn't easy trying to pick out all those pictures for the few pictures that was used in the book.
Okay.
So I allowed the designer also to pick out what they felt was the better picture for that in particular event or rally or whatever it may be. So that's how it,
And so now it's a coffee table.
So now
collector's item.
It's a collector's item. The first time I came out with the book in 2011, I submitted it for an NAACP nomination, and I got it.
Oh, yes.
I got it. It was Outstanding Literary Work of a Debut Author.
Really?
There's only 5 nominations.
Right.
And my book was
one of them. See, following your sister's advice.
Following my sister's advice, a defining moment once again.
Yes.
And so I have a friend that said he would help me with the marketing in Atlanta, and we just
took your sister's advice.
Took my sister's advice, and so then I was close to it, almost selling out. But I had always said I was going to stay true to myself.
Oh, and that's important.
And so,
staying true to yourself. But I want you to hold that point. Okay. We're going to take our final break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Warrior Outreach. Contact Command Sergeant Major Retired Sam Rhodes or Kathy Rhodes. Freedom Printing for all of your designer printing needs. Gunboat Plaza, Suite 18. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road. Trusted by generations.
Hi, I'm Michael DeQuier, Band Director here at Albany State University. As you may or may not know, our marching band has been invited to the 2016 Tournament of Roses Parade. And with me is the Tournament of Roses Parade President, Mr. Mike Matheson.
Michael, it's been great to meet the band and the community and to drum up the support that your band's going to need to come to Pasadena.
Thank you very much, Mike. Well, to get there, we need your help. And you can help by visiting our website or calling the ASU Foundation. We will be in Pasadena, California, January 2016. Thank you very much.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And we have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
Columbus's first New York-style buffalo wings restaurant. American Deli is not only known for the best buffalo wings in the area, they're also known for their fresh deli ingredients. Now you can enjoy the best New York-style buffalo wings in 2 locations. American Deli at 2004 Auburn Avenue, Columbus, Georgia, and American Wings and Deli at 2061 Highway 280 in Phoenix City. We're open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 8 p.m. American Deli, the best buffalo wings around.
Welcome back to Straightforward. We're continuing our conversation with the Colorado photographer of Barack Obama. Patricia, you made a very, very important comment about staying true to yourself. Oftentimes, and I've seen this, we are so short-sighted, some of us. We will sell out or give up for a ride down the river. If we just stayed the course, we could probably get a ride down the Mediterranean Sea on a yacht. Mm-hmm. So you're saying you had the right people in your life that helped you to stay true to the cause. Mm-hmm. So who is that person?
The person was me.
Really? Okay.
The person was me.
Okay.
Like I said, once I finished this book, I validated myself. Mm-hmm. And so my goal was, A, to keep it reasonable. Mm-hmm. I kept it very reasonable. $33.
A defining moment?
A defining moment.
For $33.
For $33.
Right.
All color pictures. Mm-hmm. That was one. 2, I was only going to do what money I had allowed to get it printed because I had to get investors. So it was 1,500 books. Mm-hmm. And I said, when I sell all these books out, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with where I am.
I've accomplished my goal.
I have accomplished my goal, and I have validated Patricia M. Duncan.
And it has made its way to the Library of Congress.
And it has made its way to the Library.
And Barack Obama has signed one.
He signed one. I met him when he came to a rally, and I told my editor, once again, I said, will you take a picture with me and the next president of the United States?
Yes.
And he grinned, and I grinned, and that's how I got that picture. And then I got it signed when I was at one of the events. But so then I went, a friend of mine said, I can help you meet the Librarian of Congress. And I'm like, okay, you know? And I went. And he loved the book. And
really?
He said, I would love to put this in the Library of Congress.
Isn't that something?
And I was okay. I was good.
Just staying the course and remembering your sister's advice.
My sister's advice, and that was my election. That was my winning. And then I had a friend that said, what is it going to hurt for you to come out with it in softcover? Because she knew I wasn't going to come back with it in hardcover.
Exactly.
And I said nothing. I said, but the only thing is I have to save the money to get it printed.
Right.
And so I did. I saved the money. I had started my own publishing company, by the way, too, also.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I got the books on August 15th. I got 1,000 books. I am down to only 400 books.
Really?
That's how fast the books are going.
Okay, and this is not the hard copy, but the soft copy.
The soft copy.
Right.
But it looks nothing like the hard copy. It's 2 totally different books. Same title, but 2 totally different books.
So the pictures are different.
The pictures are laid out totally different. The book is laid out totally different.
And it is still a defining moment.
It's still a defining moment, but we added a chapter. In the first book, we ended the inauguration. This one, it's in the beginning, President Barack Obama.
Okay.
So we have his first State of the Union speech in its entirety. That's the one thing you have to remember. All the speeches are in their entirety, not no excerpts, in their entirety.
So you have over like 300 pictures and then all of the speeches.
All of the speeches.
So this is something that someone, if you want to give a gift to someone who has everything,
that's right.
This is the awesome gift to give because it's history.
It's history.
And it's something that you can pass down through your family.
Exactly.
If you have grandchildren, it's a wonderful gift.
It's a wonderful gift.
And if they need to do a report when it's Black History Month,
right there.
it's already there.
It's all in the book. And then we have his first State of the Union speech, and we also have his first speech as Commander-in-Chief at the Air Force Academy.
Really?
At the Air Force Academy. So that's another wonderful thing, is that I have White House clearance. So I can go photograph President Obama anywhere in Colorado. Anywhere. I could go even to Hawaii if I want to and get press credentials. That is huge.
It is.
For an African-American female, because there are not very many female photographers.
And you're not a part of a national organization. This is Patricia Duncan, who followed her sister's wisdom that was able to elevate to the national stage.
To the national stage.
Isn't that something?
That is something.
It is. It's incredible.
It's, you know, and I can pat myself on the back.
Absolutely. And then you didn't have to sell out your self-respect, integrity, or anything. Just hard work and just persevere to the end.
And that's what my sister did.
Exactly.
She persevered. And that was another thing she told me. If you do all this, you will persevere. And I have persevered.
And you didn't sell out your self-respect. Because sometimes people, for success, they will just do things. Integrity is so important. And your reputation is very important. So how can people, what's your website, and how can people find the book?
Okay, so my website, so they could get an autographed copy from me, is www.adefy. So it's ADEFINMOMENT.com.
Okay.
Oh, and of course, you can get it on Amazon.
Okay.
So it's A Defining Moment, Barack Obama, The Historic Journey to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
How great is that?
Thank you.
So I want to thank you. I can't say thank you enough. I was so excited. Want to thank Ed Davis Jr., who is always on top of things, was my boss when I was with the federal government, but he's moved on doing so many other projects. But I really am thankful to him for bringing you. I knew you had to fly into Atlanta. You had some other things to do there, and I truly consider it an honor that you would take the time. So we're going to make sure that we include this in all of our correspondence to those that support us and watch this show, because we want to make sure that every African-American child and then some others have a copy of A Defining Moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure.
It's been mine too.
All right.
Thank you.
This has been Straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.